Hello everybody, so today I have designed a very quick drawing video, but it is all about how to draw a nose because it is something that I see even experienced artists in my classes struggling a little bit, and I have a very simple and easy way to draw a very realistic looking nose, and the trick is in the lines and the gaps. So all you're going to need for this tutorial is a pencil. If you have a shading pencil, which I don't actually even seem to have, that's great. And then you're going to need some paper. It can be any paper you like. In fact, I might even get my drawing notebook out because I do like to keep all my drawings in the one place. So grab your pencil and let's get started.
So get whatever you're going to do your drawing in. I'm going to use my yellow notebook, which weirdly matches nearly exactly the surface of my table. And then you're going to get your pencil ready. Someone was asking in the last video why I clip my page down, and I just do it to keep the pages flat.
Today's class is a very quick lesson on how to draw a nose. So the nose shape, very simply, is like a triangular shape. All right, so it's a triangular shape in its simplest form, in its block form, right? But you need to just use very simple lines to make your nose. Also, if you have your eyes, so I'm going to do very simple eyes, just blocking it out. Okay, this is something really important to remember. The nose, the outer parts of the nose, fall inside those eyes. Now, we're not drawing the whole face today. That would be another lesson entirely. In fact, you can probably find some very nice lessons over on our on-demand video page for this. We're just going to do the nose. If you're putting it together with the rest of the face, when you draw these outer parts, you need to make sure they fall within this space. Okay? So keep it nice and simple. The first shape for your nose is going to be a U shape. So on your page, and you're going to draw it nice and big for your first one. I'm going to start up here. I'm going to draw a U shape. So think of it almost like a little bucket. Right. For this nose, we're not worrying about the size. We're just getting the steps together. So you draw a little U shape like a bucket. All right. Then we're going to curl it out like a mustache. So this here is the tip of your nose, right in the center. And now we're going to draw in our nostrils. So it's going to curl out. I always call this part the mustache. So it curls out like here. Now I'm drawing these lines nice and dark, and again, you're not worrying about the lines, the thickness or the pressure of the pencil. You're just getting the shapes. You can even, if you want, do a line in the center here and then measure out. So say with your pencil, see how I just do it? Put a little line there and go here. So then that's where it's going to go. So that's going to be the edge. Okay, so what I did there was I did my first nostril, okay? And then I'm saying, okay, that's where my second nostril is going to come out to. Now, that's not going to be the edge of your nose, but it is giving you your shape. And you can even check here, is it working right? Is it on parallel? All right, so here I've actually come down a little bit too low. So I can just rub it out and curl it in a bit more. And then I can rub these lines out because that's not going to be the edge of the nose. That's just the edge of those nostrils. All right. And then, so we've done our U, we've done our little curl out like a mustache, and then we're going to draw two C's. Now, before we move on to them, I just want to point something out. Just rub out these construction lines for a minute. What is very important here is you're not finishing off these lines, okay? You're not curling them right in because these lines here are almost like little shadow lines, and you don't want to have that harsh line of the nose. You're just keeping it nice and free here. You can shade in. So I don't have a shading pencil. I don't know where I put it. So instead of my pencil being on its tippy toes, I'm going down here. You can shade in a little bit of the nostril. Remember, the top of the nostril is going to be darker because there's more shadow at the top of your nostril. And then as it gets towards the bottom, it's a little less. So you can kind of press a little bit harder here and a little less there. All right. If it's too dark, you just get your rubber and rub it out a little bit. All right. There we go. Now, the Now we're going to do the outer parts of the nose. So we're going to draw 2 C's. One C is a forward C and the other C is a backward C. And again, what's important here is these do not touch this inner line. They're just cupping it. So the C is coming over to say hello, but it's not touching it. So see how it just starts above it, curves around and stops just below it. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. So it starts above it. You can even check that it's kind of even. And it curves around and it stops just below it. Again, see how it's not touching it, and you can check that it's even there. That one actually comes down a little further, so I could almost rub that out and curve it in a bit more. So that's my outer of my nose. So even now I can see, I don't know if you can see there, but I'm like, yep, that's looking like a nose to me. So this would be the outer part of your nose here, right? And then you have the bridge of the nose, which is the center part here. So again, what you're going to do is you're going to draw 2 lines in, but you're not going to touch them to these. So you're going to come up here and it curves in a bit. So up here, just start a little bit up here. So see, start up here, curves in a bit. And that's going to be the bridge of the nose coming up here. And then what you can do is here, you can start to shade in a little bit on these lines, because there's always going to be a bit of a shine kind of on the center of your nose. You can shade in here and here. Ideally, you'd have a shading pencil. If you don't, this is what you use, and then shade in a bit here. But see how I'm going softly with my pencil. And then I'm going to get my cloth, put my finger in my cloth, and start to blend a little here. Now these lines are a little dark, so I'm just going to blend them out. See, I'm using my rubber, just rubbing it over a little bit. You see there? And then you can kind of come back. Blending it in with your top of your nose there. Blending in around here as well. And rub out a bit there as you need to. And you can work a little bit more in the shading. And a little bit more in on those lines. A bit more in here. See, a little bit more there. Blend it in as you go up. But if you look here, can you see how I've rubbed out that initial line? So that's become a lot less harsh. And you could do similar around here if you want to, but for now, just keep those. A little bit of shading here as well. Try not to do too much. You don't want it to get too dark. And then blend that in. And kind of just, I use my rubber just to like tone it out. You just want to make sure very light. I'm going really lightly here on this one, all right? Now, when you hold it up like this, you should have a nose. So that is your nose design. You can feather in little lines if you want to, a little bit more. But it gives you the general idea for a nose. So what I would recommend that you do is you do one and then you do a whole host of them and you keep on drawing. And what you should see is that every time you draw one, you just get that a little bit better each time. As always, I hope that you enjoyed that project. Remember, the best way to improve your drawing skills is to practice. I practice drawing or some form of art nearly every day, and I have seen a massive improvement over the decades that I've been teaching in my art skills and also just in my confidence in taking on new projects. But it does just come from practice. So keep your notebook on hand. If you've been doing my weekly classes, you will be getting a very nice notebook as your end of term gift. And just keep on creating, keep on practicing, keep on drawing. Draw what you love and then draw what you don't love so you get good at both of them. All right, see you again soon. Bye now.